The biggest names in music history earned their legendary status through hit records and sold-out arenas. But some of the most talented musicians who ever lived remained in the shadows, their technical abilities surpassing the icons who became household names. These are 10 overlooked bands who outplayed the legends. And number 10, Gentle Giant. Multi-instrumentalists who could switch between instruments mid-song with startling fluency. British progressive rock that made Yes and Emerson, Lake and Palmer sound simple by comparison. Gentle Giant formed in 1970 from the ashes of Simon Dupree and the Big Sound, bringing medieval viols, recorders, and complex counterpoint to rock music. Kerry Minnear, the band's classically trained keyboardist from the Royal Academy of Music, handled keyboards, vibraphone, cello, and recorder, while his bandmates switched between guitars, bass, drums, and brass instruments mid-song. Their 1974 album, The Power and the Glory, featured orchestral arrangements and odd time signatures that most famous prog bands wouldn't attempt. Oh, the technical mastery never translated to commercial success. Despite critical acclaim and a devoted cult following, Gentle Giant remained perpetually overshadowed by their more accessible contemporaries.
What do you wish and where do you go? Who are you? Where are you from? Will you tell me your...
They disbanded in 1980 after 11 studio albums, but their influence echoes through progressive metal bands like Dream Theater, who recognized what the masses missed. The musicians who could outplay anyone never got the recognition they deserved. Number 9, Big Star.
Don't say wait to be stuck by that my side.
In the early 1970s, Memphis power pop sounded like nothing else on American radio. Alex Chilton and Chris Bell crafted guitar arrangements that combined Beatles melody with Bird's jangle, executed with tighter precision than most arena rock bands of the era. Their debut album, #1 record, featured dual guitar interplay and vocal harmonies that should have made them stars. Distribution problems caused by Stax Records, which handled distribution for their label Ardent, kept the album out of stores, and fewer than 10,000 copies sold initially. The follow-up, Radio City, fared no better commercially. Chris Bell left the band in late 1972, devastated by the lack of success. Third Sister Lovers, recorded in 1974 but released in 1978, completed their trilogy of commercial failures and artistic triumphs. Decades later, R.E.M., The Replacements, and Cheap Trick acknowledged the debt they owed to Big Star's revolutionary songcraft. Cheap Trick even covered their song In the Street, which became the theme for that 70s show. The band that influenced an entire generation of alternative rock musicians never experienced mainstream success themselves. Number 8, Jellyfish. 2 studio albums, 5 years together, 0 mainstream recognition despite Beatles-level talent. Jellyfish emerged from San Francisco in 1989 with a sound that defied the grunge dominance of early 90s rock. Andy Sturmer, Roger Manning, and Jason Faulkner led a band whose studio musicianship rivaled Queen's orchestral ambition and the Fab Four's melodic genius. Every member played multiple instruments, crafting complex vocal harmonies and baroque pop arrangements, while their Seattle contemporaries built careers on 3-chord simplicity. Their 1993 album Spilt Milk proved they could reproduce intricate studio work live without backing tracks. Mellotron, harpsichord, and layered vocals filled songs that should have conquered radio. Instead, the album sold poorly despite universal critical praise. The band dissolved in 1994, with Manning and Faulkner becoming sought-after session musicians for Beck and Air, among others. Their elite abilities were finally recognized, just not under their own name. Power pop's most talented band became a footnote when they deserved to be headliners.
Wedding cake, all but fades into a memory throne.
Number 7. The Zombies.
And if she tempts you with a charm.
Before Baroque pop became fashionable, 5 teenagers from St. Albans were already perfecting it. Rod Argent's jazz-influenced keyboard work and Chris White's sophisticated bass lines elevated the Zombies above most British invasion bands. Their 1968 masterpiece, Odessey and Oracle, its title accidentally misspelled by the cover artist, featured harpsichord, mellotron, and vocal harmonies more complex than the Hollies or Herman's Hermits ever attempted. They recorded it at Abbey Road on the same equipment the Beatles used for Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, even borrowing John Lennon's personal mellotron. The album appeared in April 1968, 4 months after the band had already broken up. Financial struggles and lack of commercial success in Britain forced them to disband in December 1967, never knowing creative. Time of the Season became a number 3 hit in America in 1969. There was no band left to capitalize on it. Odessey and Oracle now ranks among the greatest albums ever recorded. The Zombies were decades ahead of their contemporary, and it cost them everything. Number 6. Badfinger.
Well, I can't forget this evening and your face when you...
Without You became a number 1 hit for Harry Nilsson in 1972 and reached number 1 in multiple countries for Mariah Carey in 1994. Pete Ham and Tom Evans wrote that song, with Ham crafting the verses and Evans the chorus. Paul McCartney called Without You the killer song of all time, recognizing compositional abilities that belonged in elite company. Badfinger signed to the Beatles' Apple Records in 1968, and their guitar harmonies impressed the most famous band in the world. They played on sessions for George Harrison's All Things Must Pass and John Lennon's Imagine, proving their musicianship belonged alongside the best.
I will always be around. Won't you tell me what you found?
Manager Stan Polly's financial mismanagement destroyed what should have been a legendary career. Despite writing hits and earning royalties, the band saw almost nothing. Ham hanged himself in April 1975, leaving a suicide note blaming Polly directly. Evans followed in November 1983, also by suicide.
Looking out from my lonely room.
Welsh band that outplayed most of their generation lost everything to corrupt business practices. Their albums on Apple Records stand as testament to talent that deserved so much better than tragedy.
Every day I feel the tears that you...
Before we continue, which overlooked band from the 60s and 70s deserved more recognition? Did you discover any of these artists through classic rock radio, or did you find them on your own? Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Number 5. Utopia.
God only knows what he saw.
Todd Rundgren assembled a progressive rock band in 1973 that featured some of the era's most accomplished musicians. Qasim Sultan's bass virtuosity, Roger Powell's synthesizer mastery, and Rundgren's guitar work created technical complexity, matching Yes or Genesis. But Utopia had something the prog legends lacked: the ability to shift seamlessly from 20-minute epics to perfect 3-minute pop songs. Their 1977 albums Raw and Oops, Wrong Planet showcased both extremes, proving their range exceeded what most famous bands could manage.
Moving through the night, sleeping by the light of day.
Despite Rundgren's credentials, producing Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell and XTC's Skylarking, Utopia remained a cult act throughout their 13-year existence. They released 9 studio albums between 1974 and 1985, touring relentlessly but never breaking through commercially. The musicianship that should have made them arena headliners kept them in theaters. Prog fans found them too poppy. Pop fans found them too complex. Utopia fell through the cracks between genres, and the music world lost one of its most versatile bands.
Tell my best friend for some water and cut off my leg.
Number 4. King's X. The trio that started in Springfield, Missouri before relocating to Houston, Texas influenced Pearl Jam and Soundgarden before grunge made those bands famous. Doug Pinnick's bass playing set a new standard for heaviness and melody combined. Ty Tabor's guitar innovations and the band's 3-part vocal harmonies created a sound that mixed Black Sabbath weight with Beatles sophistication. Their 1989 album, Gretchen Goes to Nebraska, delivered what Seattle bands would later package and sell to millions, but King's X never got their payday. Critics loved them. Fellow musicians worshipped them. Pearl Jam's Jeff Ament famously declared on MTV that King's X invented grunge. Despite this respect from their peers, King's X never achieved gold record status. Their musicianship was too advanced, their influences too diverse for easy categorization. Major labels didn't know how to market a band that defied genre boundaries. They continue performing today, still delivering the technical excellence that should have made them legends decades ago.
Give me some attention, lend me your ear, give me what you do.
Number 3. The Left Banke.
When I see the sign of
At 16 years old, Michael Brown was already a classically trained composer, bringing baroque arrangements to rock music. The Left Banke formed in New York in 1965, and Brown's harpsichord and string parts created an entirely new genre before the moody blues took credit for inventing it.
just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you.
Walk Away. Renee reached number 5 in 1966, featuring orchestration that helped define Baroque pop and influenced contemporaries experimenting with classical elements. Pretty Ballerina followed shortly after, cementing their innovative credentials.
The empty sidewalks on my block are not the same.
Internal conflicts destroyed the band before they could build on their innovations. Brown clashed with the other members over creative control and departed the band by late 1967 after their debut album had been released. A second album was completed without him. They reunited briefly in 1978, but the magic was gone. The teenager who brought classical composition techniques to popular music never got to fully develop his vision. Instead, the Moody Blues, Procol Harum, and countless others built successful careers on the foundation the Left Banke laid. Michael Brown's genius arrived too early and burned out too fast. Number 2. Quicksilver Messenger Service.
What you do to me, baby? And oh, now.
When they recorded Happy Trails at the Fillmore East and Fillmore West in late 1968, Quicksilver Messenger Service proved what San Francisco insiders already knew. John Cipollina and Gary Duncan's dual guitar work surpassed anything the Grateful Dead or Jefferson Airplane could deliver.
Oh, what you gonna do about me?
The live album captured extended improvisational passages that showcased technical abilities beyond their more famous Haight-Ashbury neighbors. Cipollina's heavily modified Gibson SGs and innovative amp setups created tones other players spent decades trying to replicate.
Have another hit of fresh air.
They played the same venues, shared the same stages, embodied the same psychedelic ethos. But while the Dead and Airplane became household names, Quicksilver remained a musician's band. Their self-titled 1968 debut and Happy Trails demonstrated instrumental prowess that guitar magazines still analyze today.
Have another hit of sweet California.
They never achieved commercial success comparable to their contemporaries despite equal or superior musicianship. Cipollina's influence echoes through generations of guitarists who discovered what the mainstream audience missed. The best guitarists in San Francisco never became the most famous.
I wanna know what you gonna do about me.
Number 1. Love.
And you do just what you
choose to do.
Rolling Stone magazine ranked Forever Changes among their top 50 albums of all time, calling it one of rock's greatest achievements. Arthur Lee led this multiracial Los Angeles band through the Summer of Love with sophistication that exceeded The Doors and Buffalo Springfield.
You say you love me, but you know, love is more than words. That's what I heard.
The 1967 album featured Spanish-tinged guitars, orchestral strings, and horn arrangements, ahead of anything their contemporaries attempted. Lee's songwriting, combined with Brian McLean's melodic sensibility, created a masterpiece that initially sold almost nothing.
You know that I could be in love with almost everyone.
Session musicians from the Wrecking Crew were brought in to supplement some of the recordings after band members struggled with consistency during the sessions. The core arrangements and songwriting remained entirely the band's own creation. Forever Changes bombed commercially upon release, peaking at just number 154 in the United States.
I'll think about you, but I'll see. Thinking's just a door.
Love remained a cult act throughout their existence. Decades later, critics and musicians recognized what audiences missed in 1967. The album's influence spread through alternative and indie rock, affecting bands that sold millions. Arthur Lee's vision was too far ahead of its time, and he paid the price for being brilliant before the world was ready.